protest vote that you're peddling as National Unity Platform?
It is what it is.
What is a protest vote?
We all know that we don't have a level playing political field. For the last 4 years, the NRM government, led by General Ly'Ekubo Museveni, deliberately has worked so hard to ensure that political parties do not deepen and strengthen their reach in the countryside. It has been very hard for any political formation in Uganda opposed to government to reach the grassroots. The last 4 years we've witnessed massive arrests, massive imprisonment. Every political player of some sort is on a court bail or is on a court bond. And I don't think there's anyone here who is not. Sometimes the system even forgets that someone is on a bond and they just let you be. So I don't know how Honorable Semujo is. I think he's on a police bond.
I have one more. No. Uganda Road.
You have one more court.
Yes,
So
one was dismissed by court.
yes.
We have another one pending.
Yes. Every key player in this country of some sort, even every journalist, is either nursing an injury or a broken body part or a warning. Every media house is grossly intimidated. So all organs of the state, especially the coercive organs of the state, have taken a political stance and they've chosen to take sides. Therefore, that sets the tone of the election. So you are not going to behave normally in an abnormal situation. If you do so, those who know English very well say you are abnormal yourself. If you behave normally in an abnormal situation, you are abnormal yourself. So it's on that background. And then you have a choice. If the ground is so uneven, why would you participate in an election to legitimize a regime? And others will say, give up, surrender, be indifferent, be cynical. But that's what the regime wants. So for us, every election is an opportunity to extend the frontier, to make one more case that you are not having a democracy, that you are living in a dictatorship. Yes, you can make it inevitable and overwhelm a system. And it is possible, because I don't think NRM government today enjoys the popular support in the country. If they did, they wouldn't be using coercion. They wouldn't be deploying the military. So for me, that behavior is a victory on our side and an admission on the part of NRM that psychologically they are convinced. They are no longer enjoying the love of the people. They are no longer loved. They know they are hated, and they should have gone yesterday. But if
okay, do you want to suggest it was not strategic of your principal to announce in 2021 that it's worthless to participate into an election?
I need to get to the quote you are quoting. You need to put him there, and I see the quote you are. Those are your words.
He did?
No. You have the history. You put the statement there.
I will.
Yeah, you will. So, but of course, a wise man changes in any case. You are dealing with you are in a struggle against a dictatorship. There are no fixed solutions or answers to any situation. You must be able to change as the situation changes. So even if he said so, remember he had come out of a bitter election. You know what that election meant? He's a human being. He could have felt, oh, wait a minute, is this worthwhile? He has a family, he has children to go to. He had been through a hard situation. So in the heat of the moment, he could have made a statement of that kind of, if it is true. But on a reflection, he also leads a political party. It's not about his own ideas alone. that you will one day stand up and say, you know, I'm boycotting. He's also as now as the leading political party to be the vanguard party for change in Uganda.
So is this an official position of the
So
party?
what I'm saying, he may even have feelings of his own, but at the end of the day, he is shouldering a responsibility not only for the National Unity Platform. Today, NUP is the leading official position in Uganda. So he doesn't take a personal position. It's not about his feeling. The whole party organ can take a contrary position, and as the party president is obliged to play ball.
Thank you very much. Do you get tremors?
All right.
So let me clarify.
Omulimo oguliwo guli gumu. Tweddiza tutya eggwanga lyaffe. Obuvunaanyizibwa n'obuyinza ffe tubuyinanga bannayuganda. Tewalina buyinza wansi yaffe ffe tubugaba. Ffe abalonzi ffe tugaba obuyinza obwo. Nolwekyo ffe tuyina obuvunaanyizibwa okukuuma akalulu kaffe tukatadde. Tewalina katukuumira. Ffe tuyina okukeekuumira. Kuba ffe tukira tukalonda. Tuyina okukakuuma. Tuyina okukalangirira. Okitegedde? Tuyina okukanoonya. Tuyina okukakuuma. Ate ne tukabeererawo ne tukalangirira ne tulangira nti ono gwe tulonze yoyo nti yeye kati bakama tumugamba ssebo bino bye tulina biraga nti gundi yawangudde gwe yogambye otyakoze okitegedde ye protest vote ya twekalakaasa tulonda nga tukuba mayinja wabula nga tulonda meaning everyone is accountable okulonda buli munnayuganda gyali bwubanga oli eyagala enkyukakyuka odde ebbanga lino ogamba ze bannange byantama tulifuna ddi enkyukakyuka luno situkayo. It's a protest vote. Situkayo. Oba oliwa genda olonde. Tulonde mu bungi nnyo. Bannange tuli bangi. Ne tugaanira waka era Museveni ndabajja mulangirira n'otagenda kulonda. Bulo. Eggwanga lyo liiwo olaba. Bwe otalonda omusajja yangira tukalakata. Ne genda olonde wabire nga twali kwekwasa. Okitegedde tufuna obululu bungi nnyo nga talina wabubbira. Agize okutaganya wengalo nga talina waayita. Eno gye tuyita protest vote nti buli omu genda olonde tosigala waka. Lwaki musigala ewaka? Okitegedde ye protest vote buli omu londa waayo obuvunaanyizibwa bw'ogenda olonde kikkakatako. Fuba okulaba nti waka woova tewasigadde muntu n'omu mwenna mulonze. Ekyalo kyo kifuba okulaba nga tewali muntu n'omu asigaddeyo nga talonze mwenna mulonze. Ye protest vote gye tuliko. Ffenna bwe tunaalonda tumanya nti kati ffenna ekyalo kyaffe tuliko abantu omutwalo gumu ffenna tulonze. Kyagulanyi afunyewo 9, General Museveni afunyewo 5. Aho tumanya nti ekyalo kyaffe kironze tuba okay. Okitegedde n'ekyalo ekirala ne tawuni endala bwe tutyo tunaagenda okugattagattamu amanga Kyagulanyi ali mu ntebe. Kati General Museveni alava watugambe nti naakabbye. Tuvaluga twetaga protest vote buli muntu. Protest vote kiseza buli omu kina buntu yawote genda olonda atoka kuume. Nisi bino byagamba Kyagulanyi waffe nga kibaka ntu asike bagenda balonda balasigala nga bali amandazi.
In a world where the army goes out and beats voters in the way it did, don't also trust that intelligence can manipulate these surveys. And you study the history of those who have been conducting surveys, where they've ended up. Deep state. So don't trust those surveys. 2, there is a sea of difference between data findings and data presentation. For example, he's telling you that President Museveni will win by 60%. But he's forgetting that the leading candidate. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, don't misrepresent me.
Wait a minute.
No, you didn't listen. I said 56. That's what the survey says.
Yes, that's what I'm quoting you.
No,
wait, in the last election,
listen properly,
the leading opposition candidate, who was Bobi Wine of National Unity Platform, got 34.
Yes.
Now, if President would win by 44, opposition has grown to 44. So, but the one presenting data will not show you that the opposition has grown to 44. He will show you President will win by 56. What about the other way around? So you study the mind of people who present data. Now, the way it was presented, it is the other way around. Actually, if that Afrobarometer is to be believed, then the opposition should celebrate that it has now gone to 44.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll certainly get back to you. Honorable Semuju Ibrahim Nganda, you participated in the defiance vote by defiance. And here we are now going for vote by protest. Is it just a change of semantics?
Tomorrow, Dr. Wesji will be in Nakawa. The government has filed an application. They want to use his phones to correct evidence so they can convict him. We have another PFF leaders, 36 abducted from Kisumu. They will be at the International Crimes Division for Terrorism. Dr. Wesji's lawyer, Aaron Chiza, will be at High Court applying for bail. I was at a radio station before I came here, and I said, for us as a political group, those are the conditions in which we are gearing up for the next elections. The media likes discussing preparation for the elections. The debate within the FDC and the opposition since I joined politics in 2010, 2011.
FDC and the opposition?
Yes. Because when I joined politics, I was the spokesperson for the inter-party cooperation. There was FDC and others. That's why I said FDC and the larger opposition. The discussion was, and I don't think maybe a fool, but anyone even of average understanding will know that Mr. Museveni will cheat elections. I was interviewing Elia Kategaya, the late, and he told me the only elections Museveni won that is not organized was of Scripture Union in Italy. That's the only election he won. But the subsequent election, of course, he lost until when he's the one organizing elections. So even a person of average understanding will know that Museveni is preparing to cheat these elections. Ofono Pondo has said the state and the government of Uganda. General Sejusa used to say, I remember in 2004 I was still at the Observer, and he was known for saying, we must show the state exists. And showing that the state exists, one way of doing so was to have Kanu Besigye arrested as he was touring the country in preparation for the 2006 elections. So they must show the state exists. And Ofono has spoken about the state and government and told him, Mwanga Chivumbi, wait, we will see. I met a friend, one of the people who were in the war fighting, and he told me he thinks as a country we should be bothered. And I saw Ofono Pondo himself is bothered. Today he speaks like the real Ofono Pondo speaking for the NRM. But these days he writes columns in the New Vision of an elder. I didn't know, and I thank God that I lived to see Ofono Pondo behaving like an elder, mindful of the country and the direction it is taking. And I was teasing him before we came here that as a result of his article and maybe other things, Mr. Museveni abandoned going to court to nullify Nalukola's victory because Ofono Pondo's article was very, very strong. And for me, that's the debate I think we should be having as a country. Not partisan debate where we are defending positions that are not helpful. So the NRM historical told me what is bothering him now is the state working with the Chifesi. And he told me in Kawembe, how can government, the state, hire Chifesi? Because the Chifesi are mugging and brutalizing people on the street cameras have been showing them snatching laptops and phones, sometimes even killing, and government in broad daylight is deploying them. When we had our own internal problems with the Nandaland group, they loaned the Chiefs group working with the Brigadier Damulira, the Director of Crime Intelligence, to Nandala and his group. They nearly killed the FDC chairperson of Busia. Now they were in Kawempe, in broad daylight, kicking ballot boxes. So the trouble, and I go back to the debate that we used to have in FDC, knowing that Mr. Museveni is going to cheat elections, knowing that he's going to unleash violence, do we participate or we don't participate? The view of Dr. SJ was sometimes misunderstood, that we should go and participate, but also on our own terms. You go in an election, Museveni cheats it, you mobilize the country to defy. I don't think the Mwangas are just looking for a different word, but they are saying the same thing that we have always said. To say protest vote and defiance, I don't see the difference. I was on the radio station this evening. And
what were the dividends of the defiance vote?
Let me come to that shortly. Elias Ly'Ekubo, who stood for mayor in Kampala, he was being cheated by Sematimba, who was independent but officially an NRM candidate. They hired the taxis in Kampala, about 60 of them, parked them around Serena, and loaded the Chiefs. They started brutalizing people, but the Kampala people said, no, we will go and take them on, including a threat to go and ban Sematimba's radio station. That election was called off. And that's what VSG meant. That you actually don't sit there, they slap you and you cry. You must also devise means to respond. Ly'Ekubo responded and the election was cancelled. They said, okay, we'll have it next time. So that's going into an election of this nature. I don't want to lose the point. In FDC, there are people who said, no, we must not issue any threat. We should go and prepare, have party branches established, and then we will go and overwhelm the dictator. The slogan by Mwanga's president in the last election, that we will go and overwhelm.
Remove the dictator.
You don't overwhelm the dictator by your desire. You must prepare. I don't think Ly'Ekubo overcame that election by rhetoric. There was actually adequate preparation for it. So what Mwanga is saying, and I'm coming to the point, whether there were dividends, your success fighting for freedom is going to be determined not only by your own preparation, but also by other conditions, intervening conditions. I always want to pick courage and from what happened in Syria. People who were fighting Bashar al-Assad, who was very strong, equipped himself to the teeth for so many years. So the conditions in the country at that time did not favor them. But as soon as the conditions in Syria changed, they almost effortlessly walked to Damascus. The conditions in Uganda will never be the same, Ofonopon, I can tell you. That you control the state of Obote, I'm told one time by an elder, Obote, one of the UPC ladies called Night Kulabako, she was laughing at Semogerere. She was at Katavi as the convoy of Obote and soldiers and everything. I have seen Museveni these days. He walks with the anti-aircrafts. He said, now, this one can't even control the army, and they started laughing at Semogerere. But you know where Obote ended. And it doesn't matter how many years you have been in power. Gaddafi was in power for 43 years. We should all be working for good conditions under which you hold the elections. And I want to salute you, Ofonopon. I've told you, his last article was a very good article. They can only accuse him of making it public. But internally, if they listen to it, and you and NRM allow us to have a debate on how to improve elections, to create stability for the country, because stability cannot be because you are now in power, you have the military, you can drive members into polling stations. The law in election is very clear. Not even a person armed with an AK-47 is allowed to go near a polling station because people must vote in a free atmosphere. In Kawempe, members, the last time I saw members, they were in Guru. But you drive them into a polling station. Not one, but three of them at Kawempe Mbogo. And then you are saying, you people, okay, we'll wait for you, Mwanga.
As we take a break.
So the point I am making, and I want to emphasize that point, is that what Mwanga National Unity Platform are going through, we went through it. And until we have achieved freedom, everybody will make the same preparation.
Do you imagine NOP is picking your template, or they are playing
it? It is not
different?
our template. The condition, I have said, the behavior of human beings is conditioned on circumstances that they face. If you slap me, I am going to be angry. If you slap Mwanga, you will also be angry. Except if he's a fool, that you slap him and he's laughing. So those conditions will determine how people behave. I have told you the first person to succeed here in an election that government was cheating was Ly'Ekubo. Why? The people of Kampala knew that their sovereignty was being cheated by Mr. Museveni and his candidate. And they said, one of the things we'll do, we'll walk to Matimba's radio station and burn it down. And they were walking there. I was at Ly'Ekubo's home. They started firing tear gas, and the bullets, people continued walking until they said, okay, this election, please postpone it. We cannot continue under the circumstances. So when you drive people into those conditions, their behavior is standard.
Okay. Do you feel the electoral tempo of the country is going to rise because of this new mantra now, this new slogan?
The population will seize any opportunity to get rid of Museveni. It does not matter whether the person leading is Kyagulanyi, whether it is a traditional leader. People want to change, people want to be free, that you can go in an election and you don't have to worry about Mamba and Jati and Chifesi, because things are getting worse. When I joined Mwanga, because Mwanga was in politics when I was in the media, so when I joined the politics, active politics in 2011, there was even a luxury of allowing us to hold rallies. We went actually around Uganda here holding political rallies with no interference. Today, to hold a rally, you will celebrate. They will find reasons to stop you. The last time I attempted to have a rally in my constituency, they said it is near a railway line. And I said, but I am representing an urban area. I'm not going to have it in a banana plantation. They said, no, you will not have it. So even to have a rally, a successful rally, that's why Narukola nomination is being grabbed from a motorcycle. And his claim is that there are people walking with him. And Museveni's son says, even by walking badly, we shall beat you.
Well, the question remains, vote.
Yeah, the question remains, protest vote is the way to go. The kuwe tulina tewaliyo kirala. Tewali kyemuliza tugamba kirala kyonna, tuli ku protest vote. Omu asimbye amakanda awo ku protest what? Protest vote. Era nga buli kimu tujja kukikola nga bannayuganda. Mbagambye omulimu gwe tulina guli gumu. Gwokka tewali mulala. Kola buli kye tuteekeddwa okukola kwegobako Eno Yoweri Museveni. Buli munnayuganda kikakatako. Buli munnayuganda ogwanidde. Buli munnayuganda buvunaanyizibwa bwo okulabanga Eno Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ku ntebe tagwanidde ku ako. Tagwanidde n'olunaku n'olumu. Bannayuganda tulina ensi eno yaffe. Ensi eno eyaffe tulina okujenunulira okuginunula ffe nga ffe tulina okuginunula. Wala agenda gitununulira gitununulira gitununulira. Wabula ffe nnyini ffe tulina okujenunulira. Gwe nange atukola ebyo ebigwanidde, ebyo ebigenda otuyamba, ebyo ebigenda okutugobako nakyemalira, ebyo ebigenda okuteekawo ensi ffenna gye tuneeyagaliramu, ensi ffenna gye tuneenyumirizaamu gwe nange. Kitegedde nga Uganda tukakasa kimu nti yensi yaffe twegobyeko kyemali Eno Yoweri Kaguta Museveni tulyoke tunyumirwe ensi yaffe tunyumirwe eggwanga n'abaana ffe bagaliremu. Kati nno ggwe andaba protest vote kiri kimu nti gamba banno kanoonye organize nga tukole eggaali. Kitegedde eggaali za kanoonya, za kalonda, za kakuuma, za kalangi. Awo tulaba tugambako eyo ye protest vote. Naye nga buli muntu kila muntu yote olina okulonda twali kusigalayo ku luno kwekuba ate kambere ku mirimu gyange simanyi kange nensubula ennyanya zange simanyi kantwalire embizi zange ebiwata nedda kuno tulina okulonda buli omu gy'oli ye protest vote